I'm AussieDevFro, and I think I'm better at Pokemon than I really am. Now don't get me wrong, I've been playing Pokemon casually for 25 years. However, any challenge run I've ever attempted has ended up in a massive failure. What also doesn't help with this is my love for bug-type Pokemon. Not considered the strongest Pokemon type out there. However, that's why I think it's important to bring these bug Pokemon into the competitive scene. I'm going to bring my bugs, I'm going to bring my Fro, and I'm going to see if we can make some headway in Pokemon Champions. Alrighty, now I promised you guys an updated team, and an updated team is what we have. Welcome back, I'm AussieDevFro, and we are continuing our Zero to He-Fro journey, starting with our new Mega Pokemon, Scizor. So this team is very different from our last one, and we're going to get into that. See if you guys can see the theme behind it. But we have a mostly spec attack, then further focused in defense and special defense Scizor, running Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, Dual Wing Bait, and Trail Blaze, utilizing the Technician ability, which is really, really cool. Essentially boosts the power of weaker moves, but more accurate moves, which I am a big fan of. We are focusing on the defenses of our Scizor rather than the speed, and I think it's going to be working really well with the team that I've got running here, and you guys will see why in just a little bit. Moving on to our Araquanid, one of my personal favorite Pokemon from Sun and Moon. I almost said Sword and Shield there. From Sun and Moon. I love this spider Pokemon. It's super cool, a water type, bug type Pokemon. We've had a few, and all of them have been really awesome. This one is spec'd into attack and defense because it's already got quite a nice special defense. So I'm sort of, bulking up where I can bulk up. And this guy is used for two things: absorbing fire attacks and firing back with liquidation. Obviously, having Leech Life, Crunch, and Protect as a backup, I feel like Araquanid can be a really defensive Pokemon when used correctly. And with Water Bubble, fire ain't hurting him. So as long as we don't get hit by a rock, we should be fine with this guy. Now, if you haven't seen the trend yet with our speed stats, here is our Galarian Slowking, max HP, max special attack, kind of bulky, but mostly focusing on that HP. But the key move to look at is that Trick Room. This is a Trick Room team. I've never attempted this, and I'm so excited to get in on it. Essentially, Trick Room reverses the reality, or reverses like the speed values of the Pokemon. So slower Pokemon actually move first. So this whole team is focused on slow. Now, we do have a few moves that can speed up a Pokemon or slow down the opponents, and those to be used in situations where we don't have Trick Room. But for the most part, this team is designed to go slow to then go fast. Psychic, Sludge Bomb, and Ice Beam with Regenerator, this Slowking is designed to come in and out of the battle, popping up that Trick Room. Then going into our Armarouge, I thought, you know what? We had Cerulege last time. Let's bring in the Armarouge again with the Flash Fire ability to soak up fire damage for our bugs, just in case our Mega Scizor is targeted. Now, Cerulege, max HP, max special attack, has pretty okay defenses, but really utilizing that HP there. And the special attack there is just designed to allow it to hit as hard as it possibly can. Armor Cannon being its signature move, Psychic, Aura Sphere, and Energy Ball, really good coverage. That Aura Sphere is for Sneaselers and Archelodons. We need to take care of them, and this is going to be our best guy for that. Here is our first defensive wall. We have the Belly Bolt. I love this little guy. He's super cute with his Ditto-like face, and he has a couple of really cool moves too. He's our new Melodic. Rest and Sleep Talk in order to take advantage of using Thunderbolt and Electro Web. Again, the Electro Web is designed to slow down opponents if our Trick Room goes wrong, if they defeat Slowking before we can keep him going or get that Trick Room up. But Thunderbolt is going to be his primary method of attacking. I might change up this moveset going forward, but for now, I think it's alright. Spec'd in defense and special defense, he's designed to tank moves, rest, and then Sleep Talk out some Thunderbolts. Electromorphosis powering up those Thunder moves, which will be cool. And now the final member of our team, Garganacl. I love their first form, but unfortunately their first form that looks kind of like me can't take us through into the game, but Garganacl's pretty awesome. Spec'd into HP and attack, just designed to be a rock type. I just wanted a rock type on the team. We have the clear body, so we will not take, we won't have our stats adjusted, which is awesome. Salt Cure being a key attack. We've got to have the signature move of this Pokemon. Ice Punch for coverage, Earthquake, and then Curse if we want to try and bulk up a little bit. I reckon it'll be really, really fun to utilize this Pokemon in battle, and we'll see how he goes. But overall, that's going to be the team. It's a slow team, with a few exceptions where we are able to slow our opponents with the Belly Bolt, and we can move fast with the Mega Scissor, with Bullet Punch, and Trailblaze to up our speed if need be. So I think this is a really cool team. I've never used Trick Room before, so this is all new to me. Let's see how we go. Alrighty, going into the first match of the night, or day, depending on when you're watching this video, we have a pretty interesting team. But look, honestly, I'm game enough to just jump straight into there with the Trick Room shenanigans. We're going to bring in Scizor, Slowking as our leads, Armarouge and Garganacl as our follow-ups. The Garganacl is just sort of like to, reassure us against that Armarouge if need be, and the Hawlucha. We have the Slowking, obviously, for Trick Room. Armarouge will be our, Flash Fire if need be, and Mega Scissor is Mega Scissor. So our opponent is leading off with the Steelix and the Hydreigon, which is super dangerous for us. That's a combo I did not want to see, but Scizor and Slowking are stepping up to the plate to take him on. We are immediately going to Mega our Scizor, get that Bug Bite out, and take on that Hydreigon. And the Slowking is, of course, going to go for Trick Room, which, let's give it a shot. This is my first time seeing Mega Scizor in a video game. I've got actually a couple of figurines of Mega Scizor. I think he's really cool. But this is the first time I've used him in a game, so I'm super excited. But the Hydreigon goes first with the Dragon Pulse. Does next to nothing to our Scizor, which is awesome. I'm like, yes, let's go. The Bug Bite comes through and decimates the HP pool of the Hydreigon. It's gone, and I'm feeling confident. Following up, the Steelix uses Heavy Slam on our Scizor, which leads me to question the decision-making of our opponent there. It's not very effective, doesn't do too much at all, and the Slowking follows it up with Trick Room. So now the dimensions, the dimensions have twisted. Slower Pokemon go first. Hawlucha comes out, who I believe is pretty speedy, so I think this should be okay. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please, but correct me nicely. The Scizor is going to come out with Dual Wing Beat, which is a 2-hit move, low power, again, utilizing our Technician boost. Slowking goes first, though, being the slowest, with an Ice Beam against that Steelix, does about half health, takes it to 49%. The Steelix, however, being the next slowest, high horsepower, really knocks into our Slowking. Not super great, but Slowking's Citrus Berry, which I applied to him, gives him a little bit of an extra bit of HP, with that Dual Wing Beat coming in through from the Scizor, taking out that Hawlucha before it even gets to think about attacking. So again, like this, so far, feeling alright about my Trick Room shenanigans. The final mon coming out is the Victory Bell. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. The Dual Wing Beat is going to come through and knock it out again. The Ice Beam is going to come out from the Slowking, and that's pretty much going to do it. Slowking uses that Ice Beam, knocks out the Steelix exactly as predicted. And the Dual Wing Beat misses the Victory Bell. Of course. Poison Jab is being used, but it doesn't affect Scizor. This leads me to believe that we're fighting a bot. I kind of suspected it, but honestly, it was kind of nice to have a cheeky little bot match here, just to sort of get the vibe of how Trick Room worked. Again, I have a pretty good idea on how it worked. I've seen a lot of competitive players use Trick Room, so I'm not super, I'm not completely unknown on how it works. That there was me testing Bullet Punch, because I really wanted to know, does the priority moves still work within our current speed bracket, which is first because of Trick Room? And it does. So I can use Bullet Punch, which normally has a higher speed tier than other moves, but it still is under Trick Room's sort of effect, which means we won't sort of outspeed ourselves and take us into going second, if that makes sense. Just know Bullet Punch is going to work fine. Don't worry about it. So now going into our first real match with this team, and we can tell it's real because we've got a couple of shiny Pokemon on the opposing side. So, a little spooky. Charizard, Venusaur, Archelodon, Sneasler, Melodic, and Whimsicott. These are all Pokemon you do not want to see. You don't want to see these Pokemon. This is a meta team, and I'm spooked. Now, we're bringing in Scizor and Slowking to start off with Armarouge and Araquanid to chase them up. Araquanid is there for the Charizard, and, whatever else. Armarouge is also there for the Charizard, but mostly the Archelodon, and Scizor and Slowking are there to just be there and be awesome. That's pretty much how it's going to go. Now, some cool things happen here with Trick Room. I make a questionable decision. at the start of the match, and it might pay off. Let's see how it goes. Our opponent leads off with the Sneasler and the Whimsicott, which is absolutely expected. I'm like, this is definitely going to happen. We have Sizzle and Slowking, as I said. And yeah, this is spooky, but I think we can do it. So I choose to Mega Evolve the Sizzle, obviously, and we're just going to go for... Well, I take my time sort of figuring out what I'm going to go for, and I just decided to go for the dual Wing Beat into the Whimsicott. I'm afraid of a Tailwind. Well, actually, I'm not afraid of a Tailwind because of Trick Room, which I now select with the Slowking. It's more, I'm afraid of an Encore. Because if that Whimsicott Prankster Encores my Slowking, and Prankster means that you go first with any sort of status-related moves, if that happens, then we're going to be spooked out. Yeah. However, the Sneasler goes for a Fake Out, which prevents my Mega Sizzle from doing nothing. It does nothing. A Tailwind comes through. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Because even though Mega Sizzle flinches, the Trick Room goes off. So now, the ball is in my court, so to speak. Or the speed is in my court. I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense. So with Sizzle, I go for the Bullet Punch, wanting to sort of outspeed if the Sneasler has anything. And then we go for the Ice Beam with the Slowking, sorry. I forgot the Pokemon for a second. I can't believe I did that. Anyway, the Bullet Punch comes through on the Whimsicott, and it doesn't do enough. So Encore does get placed on my Slowking. Close Combat comes out from the Sneasler, does a decent chunk of damage to our Sizzle. Probably won't survive another one. And of course that Sneasler has the White Herb, so it is going to not take that stat drop that comes with Close Combat. And my Slowking, due to the Encore, reuses Trick Room, which twists the dimensions normal. Which is terrible, because now I'm slow again. So now the team is slow again. And I think, you know what? I can still get this Whimsicott. So we're going to use a Bullet Punch into the Whimsicott. We're going to take it down. And this Slowking, who I'm assuming is going to use Trick Room again, due to the Encore. Which, when you think about it, we actually want the Trick Room again. So I actually leave the Slowking in to get the Trick Room off. And this was the questionable decision because the Whimsicott protects, and that's bad. So now our Sizzle not only doesn't actually get any damage off with the Bullet Punch, but the second Close Combat comes through from the Sneasler, which takes out our Mega. So, we went from being in a great position to no longer being in a good position because this Trick Room, while it does allow our benched Pokemon to, act first, we did lose our Mega. So I'm concerned, but I'm not alarmed. I'm thinking I made a good play here. Let's see if it pays off. I think I've said that twice now. Don't worry about that. We're new to this commentary thing. Kind of. So the Armor is going to come out. We're going to use Psychic on the Sneasler just to sort of deal some good damage. And then I've got to get this Galarian Slowking out of here. So I'm going to swap him out because we can't have another Trick Room go off. We got it back up. We don't want to lose it. So Slowking goes back to our handy-dandy little belt, and Araquanid comes out, and I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my boy, Araquanid! Now they withdraw Whimsicott, which I'm like, okay, alright, and bring out the Charizard, which is great, because right now we have our two most fireproof mons on the field. The Psychic gets used from the Armarouge, and we knock him out. With a crit, by the way, which is pretty awesome. Now, the opponent's Tailwind does peter out, but that doesn't really mean anything because we are under the Trick Room, so I'm going to go first regardless. So that doesn't really matter too much. Our opponent sends out the Melodic, which is a little concerning having Armarouge out here. But, you know what? We're going to keep moving because I've got a surprise Energy Ball for that Melodic, and I'm going to go first. Now, I consider here with the Araquanid, do I go into the Charizard, try to get that Liquidation in, or do I just try to focus down the Melodic? I decide to go Liquidation in the Charizard. I really should stop hedging my bets here. I need to start focusing down Pokemon because they just get more turns, and that's not good for me. It's something I've really got to work on. Anyway, the opponent Megas their Charizard into Mega Charizard X, which is very different from the Y that I was assuming was going to come out. Liquidation gets used from our Araquanid. It deals over half damage, takes him down to 40%, so I'm pretty keen on that. Armarouge gets his Energy Ball off, and it does okay damage, taking the Melodic down to 60%. Not great, but we'll take it. Melodic uses Scald straight into the Armarouge, doesn't do enough, keeps us at 66%, or 66 health, which is pretty good. I'll take it. Charizard uses Flare Blitz, but it can't even get Araquanid to half health. Mostly because of that Water Bubble. So Araquanid definitely tanking that attack like a champion. The Charizard does get a little bit of recoil, and then various leftovers go off for both the Armarouge and the Melodic. So with the Armarouge, I decided to switch back in the Galarian Slowking, and Araquanid, I'm just going to have it continue the liquidation straight into the Charizard. I should have been a little worried about Protect, honestly, because Charizards do normally run Protect, just to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but we'll see if he uses it. So I return Armarouge, bring out the Slowking to just get him out there, because I don't want to lose the Armarouge just yet. As predicted, the Charizard does use Protect. I should have attacked with the Melodic, I don't know why, but that's okay. Anyway, that's fine. The Liquidation just fails against the Protect. The Melodic uses Scald against my Galarian Slowking, which remember has Regenerator, so even if he had taken damage, he would have come back healed. The crit does go off, but it still doesn't do too much. Slowking, being a bit of a tank himself, is able to tank that quite nicely. Now, I have a bit of a think about what to do here with the Slowking. All my attacks are just vaguely effective, and I sort of consider, like, do I go for the Sludge Bomb, try to get poison on the Melodic? I think it's a good bet. Liquidation onto the Charizard. It can't protect this turn, or at least it has to be very lucky to get the second Protect off, which it does! It gets the second Protect. How? How does it? It's so lucky. Anyway, I get a bit of luck myself because the Sludge Bomb from the Slowking into the Melodic does poison it, which is nice. My Liquidation obviously fails. And the Melodic does use Life Dew to heal up his mons, which I'm like, oh, come on, really? I mean, I can't really talk. I have the Belly Bolt on my team, so, I can't really judge them. But that Melodic is back to 79%, down to 67, plus the poison. But now the dimensions are back to normal, so their Pokemon are going to go first. So we had a bit of a nice time going first, but now that's gone. Unless I attempt to put Trick Room up again, which is dangerous because they could just double attack into the Slowking and knock him out if I'm not careful. I decided it's worth the risk. I need to go first, so I attempt for the Trick Room on the Slowking, and we are going to Liquidation into that Charizard because it can't Protect for a third time. I know that for a fact. Dragon Claw comes out from the Charizard. It doesn't do enough. Does not do enough. Hits the Araquanid, but doesn't kill it. The Melodic comes through with the Scald onto Slowking. Slowking eats that up for breakfast, or more of like a drink, I suppose. Eats a Citrus Berry after as a follow-through. A follow-up? Not a follow-through. And then the Araquanid liquidates the Charizard. That all made sense, right? Slowking, at the end of the term, uses Trick Room. So Trick Room is a negative priority move. It will always go last, essentially, which is kind of interesting to note how that works. But we survived that round really nicely. The Trick Room is back up. I feel like we're now in a great spot. Our Mons are a little weak, but they've just got the Whimsicott and the Melodic. The Whimsicott's almost done, and that Melodic is poisoned. So I think now is the perfect time to bring that Armarouge back in. I think they're going to attack the Araquanid. And so I decide, you know what? Do we get the 100% kill on the Whimsicott, or do we go for the Melodic? And in the end, I decided to go for the Melodic, just to see how this is going to go. So Slowking, we return him out, send out the Armarouge, just because I want to get that Regenerator. I want that health on the Slowking, just in case. Leech Life on the Melodic won't do a lot of damage, but it will heal Araquanid just a little bit. And if Scald is the only move Melodic has, not going to hurt us. However, as we see there, an Icy Wind comes out. It does nothing. I don't know what they were thinking. And it lowers our speed, which means the Trick Room is even better for us. Now, the Moonlight, I believe is the attack name. Come on, Aussie, you know this. It does hit the Araquanid. It does take it down. So, unfortunately, the little bit of HP from the Leech Life was not quite enough. But, hey, it required 2 attacks into it, and I'm okay with that. Now, after the various leftovers, the Melodic is still looking okay. But, again, thanks to Regenerator, our Slowking's going to come back in feeling pretty healthy. So this is still a really good position for us, which then leads our opponent to forfeit. I was actually waiting for myself to pick an attack there, but I think once they realized the Slowking came back in with almost full health, I pretty much had the game wrapped up. The Whimsicott didn't have much damage on us. It was a foregone conclusion. So yeah, that was our first official win with Trick Room, and I am ecstatic. Let's go on to the next one. Alrighty, so for the final match of the day or night, I'm not entirely sure whether this is a bot or not. I'm sort of on the fence looking at it. The Corviknight is what's throwing me. But, bot or not, we play it like we're going to play any other. Scizor and Slowking to lead. And I can decide, you know what, Garganackle and Belly Bolt, just for a bit of a laugh. But the Belly Bolt will be useful against the Gyarados, if need be. Potentially the Dragonite. I know electricity is neutrally effective, but it could still be alright. But the Garganackle has Ice Punch, which will be helpful for that Dragonite if need be. But yeah, that's going to be the team. So the opponent leads off with the Gardevoir and the Gengar, which is such a combo. Like, oh my gosh, what a combo. I mean, not quite as iconic as Scizor and Slowking, but let's go. So the Gardevoir traces our ability. I actually just missed which ability it was, but it traces one of our abilities. Don't worry too much about it. Now, obviously, we're going to Mega our Scizor, and I'm just going to go straight for the Bullet Punch. I want to take out that Gardevoir. It is part Fairy type, and I don't want that thing using its Mega. I think that'd be particularly bad for us. I probably should have been more concerned about the Gengar being overly effective against our Slowking, and that's exactly what we see here. We see a Mega Gengar and all his glory. I'm pretty sure he's meant to be a little bit bigger than that, but, I feel like they couldn't do, actual size scales correctly in Champions, otherwise things would look a little weird. I.e., have a look at Pokemon Legends ZA. The scaling on some of the Pokemon's really funny. There's a giant Weedle in there, and it's great. Anyway, Scizor does use Bullet Punch, knocks out the Gardevoir. It's a one-hit KO. It's so good. We love it. It's Stab, it's from a Mega, it's got Technician Boost, super effective. Oh yeah, the Gengar uses Shadow Ball. Absolutely rocks our Slowking down to 26 HP, which was amazing. I could not believe that the Slowking actually survived that, and survives it to use the Trick Room. So we are now faster than everything else. Now, as predicted, they do bring out the Gyarados, so I'm thinking, ooh, maybe I could get the Belly Bolt in here. The Intimidate isn't super great for our Scizor. It doesn't have... it lowers our attack. Attack's great, but our defenses are really what's going to be helpful for us right now. And I decide to use the Dual Wing Beat, I think. I'm backing out. I'm going into my Pokemon. I'm changing Pokemon now. Is that what I'm doing? But then I remember... Gengar doesn't let Pokemon get swapped out. I believe it's an ability. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm not a Pokemon expert. So if you're looking for expert advice, that ain't coming from me. We're getting commentary here. Slowking goes first, uses Psychic on the Gengar, takes it down to 10% HP. So it's super effective. We can be super effective back. And the Dual Wing Beat comes through just to sort of finish it off. I don't want that Gengar around anymore. I want to be able to swap out. So, focusing down on it seemed like the right play there. I needed to get that out. Gyarados does use Crunch. It's super effective on the Slowking, knocks him out, unfortunately. So we ain't getting a second Trick Room up, I'll tell you that. So because I just want to see my little chubby guy get in here, we have a Belly Bolt. He looks very adorable. They send out a Bomber Snow, so that's probably not great for our Belly Bolt, but hey, he's out there. He's having a good time. With Scizor, I do decide to just go for the Bug Bite into the Bomber Snow. Just seems like the logical choice. And then with Belly Bolt, I just go straight for the Thunderbolt. Straight to the dome of that Gyarados. Should do a decent chunk of damage. Speaking of chunks of damage, Belly Bolt goes first. That Thunderbolt rips through the Gyarados exactly as predicted. Down he goes. That Trick Room is paying off dividends right now. But the Bomber Snow is pretty slow. It's a Bomber Slow, not a Bomber Snow, It's in the name, kind of. It uses a Blizzard, powers up our Belly Bolt, but unfortunately, I don't think the Belly Bolt's going to get much of a choice to use that. The Bug Bite does come through, does about half to the Bomber Snow. I probably should have gone for a Dual Wing Beat just to finish it. I go for a not very effective Thunderbolt with the Belly Bolt just for the heck of it. Which does come through and, yeah, doesn't quite knock it out, but that's okay. That's totally fine. The Bomber Snow does attempt a Blizzard again. It connects. Connecting on 2 Blizzards is pretty good. This bot had some nice luck there. Unfortunately, though, it came up against Mega Scizor, that Dual Wing Beat coming through, knocking it out, and that's going to be our third win, sorry. So it's 2 bot wins, 1 human win with this team, the Trick Room team. And let me tell you, it's actually really fun to use. I know it's not the most sort of focused team. I know there are better Trick Room teams out there, but I'm working with the mons that I'm obtaining from the ranch. I'm not really I don't have any mons to bring through from Pokemon Home. And I'm finding a lot of enjoyment just crafting these silly teams. So I hope you guys are finding enjoyment in this too. 0 to He-Fro, we're making progress. I reckon I'm going to get out of Pokeball tier this season, and I'm looking forward to it. If you're looking forward to it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below what Pokemon or team vibes you want me to attempt in the future. As always, have a wonderful day, and I will see you all when I see you.